Alright, good morning class. Here we go again. For some of you, Tuesday the 20th, well, Wednesday the 21st, and the rest of you, Thursday the 22nd. Alright, so, today what we're going to do for my video is, so I'm going to incorporate, what I decided is, let's go to the class and look at a few things. Alright, so, every day, every Monday, I post your assignments for the week. And they're all going to be right here. They're all going to say due Sunday. The only thing you'll have due today is your attendance question. Okay? So, however, if you click on view all, you'll see everything that is essentially due on the left-hand side of the screen. And then you'll see, for this week, IXL, context clues, Kahoot, and then your attendance questions. What we're going to do, start doing something new. Every day I'm going to post just one reading comprehension on top of all of your assignments. So all this is doing is giving you more options for work to do so that we make sure everybody gets it. So every day you're going to see posting new assignments, and it's going to be via ReadWorks. Alright, so what is ReadWorks? ReadWorks is this website where it's got just reading passages. The best way, I know we're in class, we always have the best way to get better at reading is to just practice. So this just gives you an option to go in and read a passage that I've assigned, answer some questions on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make the reading assignments relatable to what you need. So I'll put a lot of trade reading comprehension assignments up there, medical, try to get some plumbing, carpentry, electrical stuff, whatever I can find is going to be helpful. And I also thought it'd be kind of interesting that since we're close to an election in just a few weeks, we'll just talk about some election stuff. November 4th is the election, and I've never harped on this a lot, but it is really important that we all get out and vote. Alright? So, let me show you how we're going to do this. Alright, so what I've done is I've assigned all of your Google Classrooms to this ReadWorks website. So, on your page, on the stream, what I need to do is click on here. Once you're signed into Google, you will just acknowledge this, and you will go in. And here's your assignment. Alright, now this is a medical related medical related specific topic. Alright, so for all you medical people, CNA, pharmacy, medical office is important. Alright, so you got a couple options. I don't want you to just... You've got your audio, yes. But what we can do is, I want you to read the article. Healthcare can be a great fit for you. Thinking about jobs, healthcare can be a great fit. Alright, so what I want you to go ahead and do is, for this one, read this article, and then go to answer the questions. And then when you submit it, it's like any other assignment I've posted. I'll be able to see what you submitted. So you go through your answers, and then you submit. Pretty straightforward. Just one thing. Alright. So blood collection specialist, that's part of CMA, right? So medical scientist, top healthcare jobs. Other healthcare jobs with strong growth projection through 2016 and beyond. Home health aides, CNA. Medical assistants, CMA. Alright? Pharmacy technicians, dental hygienists, dental assistants. Alright? So, these are, I want you guys, especially medical folks, to read this article. Alright? So, as we go through every day, I'll go ahead and I'll post one of these reading passages. So it will count as one of your assignments. So you can one day do the work I've submitted on tape, or you can read one of these passages. Alright? But for this intents and purposes, I have, alright, I'm going to add a library. But for this one, we're going to, for the next 5 or 10 minutes or so, we're going to read a passage. 18, 19, and 20-year-old Americans get to vote in 1971. Why is this important? Because most of you are in that age range, 18, 19, 20, 21, and you all get to vote. Alright, okay, I know there's a lot going on in our country, but the greatest way we can impact change is by getting out there and putting our vote. What can we do to say this is who I want to be our president or our congressman or even our local official? Alright, so let's go ahead and read the article. It's 4 minutes. Alright. The United States became the law of the land a few years after the British colonies gained their independence from England. In order to become a state of the United States, the colony had to agree to obey the Constitution. The Constitution gave each state the right to decide who could vote in their state. In most states, only white Protestant men 21 years or older were given the right to vote. Some states allowed women to vote, but most did not. Most African Americans were slaves and slaves were not citizens of the United States. Only citizens were allowed to vote. In order to give groups other than white men 21 years of age and older the right to vote in every state of the nation, the Constitution had to be changed. This was done through amendments or additions to the original document, and 3 of these amendments gave the right to vote to new groups of citizens. To African Americans, men in 1870, after the Civil War, American women in 1920, and people aged 18, 19, and 20 in 1971. These amendments made it law that these groups must be allowed to vote in every state. So think about it, until 1971, if you were under 21 years old, you could not vote. So, what's the issue here? Alright, we can send our soldiers to war at 18, but they couldn't vote. So let's read about that. In 1970, all men and women, citizens of each race, had the constitutional right to vote in America if they were 21 years or older. What was going to change is that young people would be allowed to vote if they were 18 years or older. General Eisenhower became the President of the United States in 1952. He told the American people that he was in favor of adding an amendment to the Constitution that would lower the voting age from 21 to 18. He said that American citizens 18, 19, 20 had risked their lives to fight for their country in World War I and World War II, and so they should be able to vote. Even though many people agree with this, it did not happen for another 13 years. During the 60s, when Lyndon B. Johnson was the president, people fought to give black citizens the same rights and privileges of being an American citizen that white citizens had, and to end discrimination against them. This period in the United States has been called the Civil Rights Movement. Alright, this was in the 60s. Voting rights became an important concern during the Civil Rights Movement. Even though black citizens had been able to vote since 1870, they were also prevented from voting, especially in the southern states. One way some states did this was to require everyone to show a driver's license or other government ID document in order to vote. Fewer black citizens than white citizens had such documents, so it was a way to prevent many black citizens from voting. Many protests against voting restrictions on black citizens took place in the streets of America, especially in D.C. Finally, Congress passed the Voting Rights Act of 1965, prohibiting racial discrimination in voting. Okay, in 1970, extension of voting rights led to the lowering of the age to 18 in elections for the President and Vice President of the United States, but not all candidates in state and local elections. In order to lower the voting age to 18 in all elections in the country, an amendment to the Constitution was needed. In March 71, the Congress voted in favor of become the 26th Amendment, ratified or approved by the required 3/4 of state legislatures, and became the law of the land in July. Richard Nixon, who was the president at the time, told American people they believed these new voters would contribute a great deal to the country by participating in the political process. Alright, so this is kind of the little history on why 18-year-olds could vote. A little history they don't tell you about is, in 1971, we were embroiled in the Vietnam War. So we were sending all of these 18, 19-year-old soldiers over to Vietnam, and it was not a good war for the country. So a lot of our soldiers were dying, 18-year-olds. But look at the irony in that. We could go out to war to fight for our country, but when we came back, we couldn't vote for the people that were sending us to war. So This gave everyone under the age of 21, 18, the right to vote. So, hence the reason some of you 18, 19, 20-year-olds have the right to vote now. So let's look at some of the questions. What did the 26th Amendment do? It lowered the voting age. Alright, so what's going to happen is you're going to have to send me, when you log into ReadWorks, you're going to have to send me a email and I will confirm you. So that's also a way of knowing that you've been into ReadWorks. Alright, so it lowers the voting age. The text describes the sequence leading to the passage of the 26th Amendment. What did Congress pass in 1965? The Voting Rights Act. Okay? Some states have limited the ability of certain groups to vote. What information from the text best supports this statement? Alright. President Eisenhower's favor? Nope. 60s, people fought to give black citizens the same rights and privileges being American citizens had. States prevented many blacks from voting by requiring identification documents, and many blacks did not have an order to vote. And 70 extension led to lowering voting age for elections. Alright. Limited the ability of certain rights to vote. So, this one, see. What can be concluded about elections in the United States that took place before 65? They were fair? No. They were unfair because many groups were prevented. Many elections became efficient. Technology? No. Many elections were problematic. People weren't allowed to vote, still voted? No. They were not fair before 65. Alright, main idea. See, this is why we go through this kind of stuff. What is the main idea of the text? Constitution gave each state the right to decide who could vote. For many, only Protestant may. No. The 60s, Americans fought. Nope, that's just a detail. Even though black citizens had been able to vote since the 70s, they were prevented from voting in southern states. Detail. Over the years, people fought to extend voting rights to more groups of people and protect these rights. As a result, the voting right and the 26th Amendment were passed. Yes. D. Alright. The main idea, the most important thing. The rest are just small details, not the main idea. Alright. The following sentence. What does the word restriction mean? Ooh, context clues. See, yeah. Alright, so let's find the word restriction. Alright, so based on this, it's something that limits. When we restrict something, we limit. Alright. In 1970, an extension to the Voting Rights Act led to lowering the voting age to the 18-year-olds in elections for the President and Vice President of the United States. Blank, an amendment to the Constitution was needed. Before, thus, however, thus an amendment was needed. Okay? Not although, however, thus. According to text, what did the Constitution give each state the right to do? Alright, so write it in. What did it gave them to? It gave the Constitution the right to decide who voted, right? Why did people pass the Fight the Voting Rights Act of 1865? Because it was not, because black African Americans were blocked from voting, just as whites were. And how can people fight for change in the United States? We can vote, alright? We can use this power that has been granted to us to change. We vote in the people that we want to see govern us. This is how we can elicit change in our country. Alright, so this is ReadWorks, and you'll see something on this every day. Alright, so just so you know, there'll be an additional assignment, and it's just an additional piece of work that you can do on top of whatever I've given you. You guys should have more than enough assignments at this point to keep you rolling. And remember, 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 assignments. Tuesday, Thursday, 2 assignments. That's the minimum. If you guys do more, you'll get more hours, okay? So remember, you've got a whole slew of options. Alright, this is going to give us our 15 minutes for the day. I hope this was helpful. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all soon.